You walk into a supermarket, you see 1,000 different boxes, 1,000 different choices. Coke versus Pepsi, Apple versus Microsoft, Ford versus G&M. Capitalism's greatest promise. Competition keeps prices low and quality high. But what if I told you that fight is fake? What if the two boxers in the ring are actually owned by the same person? Look closely at the shareholders, the people who actually own corporate America. You will see the same names over and over and over again. They are the big three. And they don't just own the market, they are the market. Welcome to the era of the shadow monopoly. The illusion of choice ends now. To understand the scale of this beast, we have to look at the numbers. BlackRock alone manages over $10 trillion in assets. Combine that with Vanguard and State Street, and you hit $20 trillion. That is not just a number. That is larger than the GDP of China. It is more money than the United States government spends in 3 years. But they don't build cars. They don't drill for oil. They don't bake bread. They are asset managers. They invest your pension, your 401k, and with your money, they buy the world. Today, the big three are the largest shareholder in 88% of the S&P 500. It is a power structure that the Rockefeller monopoly could only dream of. But unlike Rockefeller, they didn't steal it. We gave it to them, willing. So how did we get here? It started with a good idea, the index fund. Instead of picking one winning stock, you buy a tiny slice of everything. It's safe, it's boring, it's passive. But here's the catch. When millions of people buy everything, the person holding the basket gets the votes. This creates a phenomenon economists call horizontal shareholding. Let's look at the airline industry. United, Delta, American. In a free market, they should fight to offer you the cheapest ticket. But BlackRock and Vanguard are the top owners of all of them. If you own all the airlines, do you want a price war? Absolutely not. You want stability. You want high fees. You want baggage charges. Competition eats into profits. Collaboration, that makes the line go up. They don't need to send a secret memo to fix prices. The CEOs already know who the boss is. This soft power is invisible. It's not a monopoly of one company. It's a monopoly of one investor. For decades, this was just about profit. Then, something changed. Enter Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, and his annual letters. He realized that holding $10 trillion gives you more than dividends. It gives you the power to reshape society. They call it ESG, environmental, social, and governance scores. On paper, it sounds noble. Save the planet, improve diversity. In practice, it is a compliance mechanism for the global elite. If a CEO doesn't follow the narrative, BlackRock can restrict their capital. They can vote out the board of directors. They can crush the stock price. An unelected group of financiers now decides your car's engine, your stove's fuel, and your company's HR policy. Democracy is slow. The shadow monopoly is instant. But the most terrifying frontier isn't the stock market. It's your neighborhood. Since 2020, institutional investors have been buying single-family homes. They pay cash. They pay over the asking price. You cannot compete. Why? Because a subscription economy is more profitable than ownership. They don't want you to own the asset. They want you to pay rent forever. A feudal system reimagined for the digital age. Every rent check you write flows up the river, eventually landing in the same ocean. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is the efficient logic of capital. We traded our economic freedom for the convenience of an index fund. The invisible hand of the market has been replaced by the invisible fist. You cannot boycott them. Because if you stop buying Coke and buy Pepsi, they still get paid. The only way out is to wake up, to see the strings. Because a monopoly only works as long as we believe the illusion. Who do you think really owns your future? Comment below and subscribe to follow the money.